those types of words and they weren't there.
You got time?
So,
They're now, all of them are now under.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call, Mr. Brylet.
here.
Mrs. Minnie? Here. Mr. Platzer?
Here.
Mrs. Trumbull here. Mr. Apple is absent. He's still recovering from his surgery. Doing pretty well. Had a little setback, but he's working on it. The consent agenda, we need a correction on the December 15th minutes. It says the meeting was opened by Mr. Apple, and it wasn't because he wasn't here. It was opened by Clerk Trumbull. So you can jot that down on your minutes. Otherwise, can we have a motion?
What's the total on the?
Oh, I'm sorry. The total is $519,165.61. And of course, that is large because of all the tax payouts at this time of year.
I move to accept the consent agenda.
I'll second. Okay. Roll call vote. Any questions? Okay, roll call vote. Mr. Bryler?
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Platzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Trumbull, yes. Citizens wishing to address the board? I guess we need an approval of the agenda. Do we have any additions? Apparently, actually, I have one. I know that we have to appoint the Board of Review members, and it looks like Mark has one here where we need to, you would like us to approve your recommendation for the officers?
Yes.
Come up under the fire department?
Yeah. That's right, I have it listed in mine, I was moving to.
Sure. Okay, so we'll make the appointment, let me make sure I got all my notes from here.
Appointment new business?
Appointment under new business B, Board of Review members.
Move to approve the agenda.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. Now, we have department reports. We have the fire department.
I passed out the list of officers from elections, and that's our recommendations for this year for our officers. There's just one change. Ken Morrison is retired. Norris Snyder has taken the lieutenant one position. All the other ones are all have been officers before in different offices.
Who retired?
Ken Morrison.
Would anyone like to make a motion?
I will make a motion that we accept the officers and
That we approve the officers?
yes.
Support.
Okay. Let's do a roll call vote. Are there any questions, anything? Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Platzer?
Yes.
Mr. Brylet?
Yes.
Mrs. Trumbull, yes. So we approved the new officers for, a lot of repeat officers, but officers to the fire department for the year.
Thank you. Also, we had a request from some business owners for the Knox box system. So we implemented that. We're still waiting for our own master keys. What it is, that's a locking system that
So sorry.
that's a locking system that most municipalities have, that the fire department has a set of master keys. So if a building owner, mostly commercial buildings, or even could be cottages, want to build in a locking system into their home, we have a master key we get in there, so if there's a fire alarm or a fire or something, we get in their home without having to bust a window or find a key holder. Most commercial buildings in other municipalities have them, but we had a request, so we signed up with the companies, no cost to us. The homeowners do it their own, or the building owners do it their own.
Expense?
Yeah, their own expense, when they're building, or if they want to cut a hole in the wall and mount this box. It's a secure system, but there's a set of keys in there. The fire department has a master key. We go to that box, open the keys, has their house keys in it, or the building keys in it, and we can get in their home, check fire alarms, or whatever else would be. So we just signed up with this company to do this. Everybody, almost everybody I know has this type of system. So.
Almost everybody has it?
Township, you mean?
No, almost every township has it.
Oh, yeah, but
every city.
not every,
No,
Not every homeowner.
No, not every homeowner, but
A lot of
in fact,
businesses.
one of these guys that called it is like, they have a cottage. And they said, why don't you guys have a set of keys to our cottage? That way there, we don't have to hold keys to Bob Jones' house and Sam Smith and all these different, figure out whose addresses. We have one set of master keys for all Knox boxes, and they have their own personal keys
how
inside
do you
of
spell it?
KNOX. It's right on a piece of paper I left you there.
I see it now.
Yep. But on that piece of paper, you can see the different types of boxes that you can get for your home.
Right.
Every homeowner can get one if they, are gonna be gone and they ever want, especially it could be anything, but anyways, commercial places, as they're building, a lot of times build it right into when they're doing the brickwork or framing the building, they put them right in.
Well, there could be false alarms, so then, like you said, you're
Yeah.
breaking in or whatever and
So
causing
anyway,
damage.
so just an FYI, just that we did that, and we'll have master keys for those who ever wanna do that. But that was just a FYI, so that's all I have.
Well, thank you. Building department, Al?
Nothing that I know.
Okay. There's just a few remodels and jobs going on,
There's a few minutes out there.
which is good. Anybody know anything about water? Dusty, I know we're repairing a leak tomorrow on Lake Shore, a small one. Other than that, do you know anything more about water right now?
They didn't want a lake shore today down by Blue Water Kitchen.
That was the homework.
Oh, okay, I just, all right, I didn't.
Yeah, tomorrow they're
We're
doing,
across the street.
Oh, I
Yeah.
gotcha.
I didn't know where it was. I knew there was a leak and that's why I thought it might be down there.
Al, if you're, when you're gonna fix that hydrant on Norman?
No, but I'll ask him tomorrow, let you know.
You call him, so I get hit, or
He may be gonna do it while he's up there, he won't be up there.
I know we're gonna rebuild, he called me today, he said February 3rd, they're gonna rebuild the 4-inch valves or something
Yeah.
down the meter pit on February 3rd. Because he told me that day they would be servicing that, but the high flow would be working if we had a fire that day.
Jean, do you have anything to elaborate?
Some requests from people who use the building, not necessarily use the library in all cases, but use the building. They come in and ask things of my staff and I. The first one was kind of a new one as far as requests go. A gentleman whose family must have rented the hall for the purpose of having a shower or some type of party where they had out-of-town guests coming in. Would have liked to have had numbers on the building to indicate, so that if you gave your people coming in the address of 7097 for the hall, that that number was on the building somewhere, because there really is no, you get there, but you don't know if you're at exactly the right building or not. I have a number for the library on the mailbox, but since our mailbox is right there with the Deckers, there is really nothing to tell anybody coming there that they're in the right spot. Request number 2 was from a lady who was sitting in the hall during a program that was part of the library's programs, And she said that wind coming in under the door is really annoying. That gap has gotten to be probably a good 2 inches again. And so the wind blowing in there, even if the heat is on, it's really cold. And I would comment that
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
the door problem with the Friends cabinet or closet has gotten to the point where that's probably, the 2 doors are probably now a quarter to a half an inch apart, and so it is impossible to get that to lock. The lock simply doesn't match up. So even if I lift on one side and pull down on the other, it's not locking. That's totally unlocked. And the other request was another young mother who can't understand why, with the size of bathrooms we have, that we don't have changing stations for babies, especially at this time of year. Taking your child out to a cold car or putting them down on a floor that's covered with salt and dirt is just upsetting for people. And so since there are families with young children who use the building, they really would like to see changing facilities in the bathrooms. So I kind of took a look at the type that go on the wall and fold down. And if you ordered the stuff online from an industrial supply company or a school supply company, you'd probably, by the time you got shipping charges and brackets and whatever, you're looking at a couple $100 per bathroom. If you ordered them through a company locally like Home Depot and had them brought into the store, tax on another maybe $75. If you go through a plumbing supply company like Ferguson's down off in Lapeer, then it gets pricier. It gets up over $400 probably. But
Well, and those are all the same type?
all the type that fold down off the wall. Now, within that category, if you go through a plumbing supply company like Ferguson's, the kinds of companies they deal with, you can go from anything from plastic to stainless steel. But the upper end route is, in my opinion, overpriced for what you would be getting.
Okay. All righty.
I don't think that's a bad idea. The hall is, I mean, it's not just library patrons. We don't have patients. But we rent it out all the time. And I mean, if you had a Christmas party or a funeral dinner, or, I mean, people have babies, and where do you put them?
Yeah,
So
I
yeah.
want to look into it.
I don't think it's a bad idea.
Okay. Well, we're at unfinished business, and that is the codified zoning book. The planning commission, well, Al, do you want to mention what the planning commission, what their results were of their last meeting?
Basically, we want the stuff fixed in it that was reviewed by Georgia Johnson. The illustrations aren't in the book, and the maps. And Bob Bailey's been working on it. He didn't call the lawyer at their company yet, because he's found a lot of the stuff that Georgia had found in the book was in the original draft. And they actually got, a lot of it got changed, but it's off like 2 pages, like it's on page 68 instead of page 66. So he's been going through that the last few days trying to decipher it all. So when he calls him, he gives him the correct information, so we're not.
We also have a review by Doug Tooman that's separate from that may not hurt for him to look at too. I'll get a hold of him.
Yeah, this is review. Remember, he didn't have it, but just a few pages, wasn't it? Doug?
Well, it was more than a few.
And we can get a copy of it.
Yeah. You know, do we want to set up a committee of 2 board members to work with him on this?
I don't know, I mean, he's trying to get that stuff together for our next
For your
planning commission meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, personally, I think the guys should just come up to our meeting, you know, and answer the rest of the questions. Paul Richards got a couple other questions that none of us can really answer.
This is on the subdivision?
Yeah, on the subdivision and
Yeah, I thought that was already answered in there, but, you
Yeah,
know.
well, and maybe if he talks to the guy, then he'll feel better about it, but,
Well, you can call him.
yeah, he knows
I
that.
mean, the guy's pretty good to talk with.
Yeah.
He's,
But Bob's gonna finish what he's doing this
Okay.
week and try to get a hold of the guy this week. and-
okay, good. I appreciate that. That's
And we'll
a
go
lot of
from there.
work. I started going through
Yeah.
it. It's a lot of work. Okay, well.
So that's where it's at, they wanna get it corrected, you know, so we have a public hearing and
Done.
it's done, well, it's done to the best of our knowledge
Right.
anyhow. You know, when you
Well,
got
at
correct-
your
when
end,
you got
then it comes to,
corrections
then
laying
it comes to
there,
the board, yeah.
and then we'll be done.
And your meeting is the next month?
February 3rd, I think it is. Second or third, I
Yeah, February.
don't know.
Okay.
Third.
Thank you. Okay, so, I put the budget down there, you all got a copy of it. What we need to do is set up, some budget meetings. And, so maybe we can do that right now. We can get working on this, so we're not running into trying to rush through and get it done by the end of March. Does anybody have any suggestions on what days we could start this on? What's open?
Probably Al's the only one who really has a
Yeah.
conflict, so whatever works for you, I think the rest of us could probably.
When's our road commission meeting?
Our road commission meeting is, I have that down, the 23rd.
Oh, that's too late.
Our road commission meeting is the 23rd, by the way, from 1 to 3.
February, right?
That's February, yes,
That's too late.
at the county building, county road building. And that's, so that's later in the month. I mean, if we could have something earlier in the month, that would be
Yeah.
good.
Other than the first week,
Mhm.
pretty much anything is okay with me.
Well, Monday the 9th isn't good for you if it's in the morning
Oh, no.
or in the daytime.
Yeah, you're right. Don't have that on the calendar.
Well, the 10th, 11th,
And what time's good for you, Al?
I'll do it whenever you want to do it.
How
We're
about
talking
the-
February, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
How about the 10th?
Okay. What time? You
9:30?
set the 9:30? That's
Good.
good?
That's fine with me.
Okay. And then at that time, we can take a look and see where we are and set up another one, I guess. So,
Yeah, if you can get a note out to all the departments, get their budgets
that
together.
wouldn't be a bad idea, would it?
Can you do that for, yeah, Dean's Mike's not.
Right.
We can figure that out later.
Right. This is, if I don't write this down. Okay. Then the other thing is, the only other thing that I have right now is that we need to reappoint the Board of Review members. And that was the added thing to the agenda. Which are Archie Bowman, Frank Schwartz, and Ruth Ann Plenty. So we need a motion on that.
Can we do them all in one motion?
I think so.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay. Okay, that's for
For latest
the,
board of review,
pardon?
March.
March?
It's for the year.
Right, but I mean,
Yeah.
the next one is,
Right, that's right.
March.
Okay, all in favor?
aye.
Aye. Nays? Okay, motion carried. Yeah, we'll do this at our budget meeting. We need to look at our health insurance. Our premiums have really jumped up again, and we're gonna have to figure out something. Supervisor's report, Mike isn't here, so he doesn't have a report. The clerk's report, I think we actually have gone through county road meeting reservations for 4 Lakes, appoint board members, amend minutes for the December meeting. I think we've gone through all my, I don't have any new business to report. So, Jody, trustees, or treasurers?
The other thing I've got, I received some correspondence from the county. The Board of Commissioners have purchased some time on what is called EBW TV. And they've they want, if municipalities have any highlights that they want to go down there, or have them come up here, take a video, they would make it available on certain dates that they've got, which is March 4th, May 6th, July 1st, September 2nd, November 4th. Wouldn't cost us anything, it would be, I guess when I saw this, I was thinking of the chapel and the things that you people are doing with the chapel to promote it. You might want to consider that, picking a time and having somebody be responsible for communicating that to, so they can take a, whatever they take, a tape or something, and they make it available on that TV and also on the website.
And this is, who is doing this?
Well, it's St. Clair County.
Yeah,
The organization is EBW-TV.
okay.
I've got, you know, in the correspondence I looked at, there's a sample of who they've been working
I've
with.
seen them out talking to people and videoing, and I think it'd be a great idea.
I think Jim Ralcom was involved in it, but he's not doing too well health-wise, I don't think so. I don't think he's doing anything.
You know, now that you brought that up, well, I think that's a great idea. If you want to get the information to me,
Yep, I will.
okay.
And the contact, who to get a hold of, because they said let them know as soon as possible so they can allot the time.
Okay. Which brings up another thing I'd forgotten I was going to bring up under clerk's report. Rob Crawford was looking for something for the MTA meeting on February 6th, is that right? That he wanted to know a one-line informational thing about Burtchville Township. For example, his example was Fort Erie is the point furthest east in the state of Michigan. Can anybody think of any one-line specific statement about Burtchville that would stand out?
Along the shoreline and the township, is that true or not?
Pardon?
You know,
I think Worth would be longer.
Worth has a longer?
I don't know.
Aren't we all 6 miles long, but different width,
Well, we're half an hour.
width-wise?
Yeah.
But, I mean, we could put that in, but that's kind of dull. Do we have more parks than most? We have quite a few parks.
Probably.
Sounds like when we get the bill for cutting the grass.
The largest bill for cutting grass? Okay, maybe that's true. Okay, well, if you think of anything,
Walnut
you
bike
know.
path in the,
Burtchville?
but, you know, in the,
Bridge to Bay?
yeah,
I don't think so.
oh, okay.
I don't know. I could
I
find
don't
out.
either, I'm just,
I don't
said,
think
does anybody
so.
have any ideas?
I think the ones down in St. Clair and Green City are longer. Thank you. Okay. Well, if you think of anything, let me know, or let Rob know. Okay. Trustees report. Cindy?
Actually, I don't have anything.
Al?
Just a couple things. The chapel,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna do, and were you at the meeting?
Yes,
I mean, you can report, they're gonna do the wood floor, correct?
they're putting wood
The Amish.
flooring, yes,
The Amish are gonna do that, correct?
yes,
So,
and I'm not sure when.
no, I know.
But
Jim
they
Jim
are-
and I talked about it.
okay.
Told them whatever worked, you know, and help them.
5-inch
transport or
wide
whatever,
oak.
so.
Floor.
Yeah, but there was some question or something about the, maybe extending the floor out there in the front. It used to be raised or something where and we really don't want to do that.
Okay,
I mean, as far as when you bring a casket and stuff in there, you really need the room, so it would be developing a problem, and that's all I didn't know. if
Like
we
the
could
riser
talk
and
about it. Yeah.
oh,
He's gonna continue the
Right.
part that's there over to the door, that rise. But other than that, if we go out anymore, we're gonna be, you know, depending on, you just put your casket back too far without having to lift it, so. So I didn't know if we need to discuss that or not.
well, we did, and there was, I mean, with, Jim drew on the board and that the pews can come back, and number one, they don't have to be as far apart as they were previously, because they were like way far apart.
The problem is, some funerals, people are standing over the doors in there, even the way it was, so. So
Well,
the farther you push it back, you just have a bunch of empty space up front, which,
Well, it wasn't that they were gonna leave a whole lot, and then the other thing was that they didn't think there'd be, when he had it on, he said you could bring it up, take it over to the door, because it wasn't gonna go over by the door at all,
yeah.
and then, straighten it out. But I don't think anything had been totally decided at the meeting. If he said it was, I don't think it was voted on or anything. So, but okay.
Okay, extended public comment. Are there any comments, questions from the audience? Okay. Someone want to make a motion to adjourn?
Just one thing, the next meeting isn't the first Monday.
It is not. The next meeting is the 17th, which is a Tuesday, because we are closed on Monday, so we're not, yeah. It'll be in the paper, but.
Right, but people are here.
Yeah. Thank you, Cindy.
February 17th, sure.
That's right. That's right. Okay. I guess we're adjourned. What time do you have?
Do you want me to make a motion?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Support.
7:26.
And all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion carries.